Right, we're back on it. Farmac delivered yesterday. They also dropped off a little bag of goodies, I suppose. Little flask, tape measure, beanie, a wet pen, t-shirt, 2 key rings and another pen, so that's nice of them. And they were the cheapest as well. They only dropped me off half the gear yesterday, which we knew was going to happen. Wasn't going to do anything yesterday anyway because I had other things to do. Today I'm going to load out because it's Tuesday. The trench is full of water again. Well, not full, but a bit full. I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm going to load out today to get ready for tomorrow because I've got quite a bit on this afternoon in other bits and pieces. Right, so yesterday I bought myself a trowel. We'll talk about all these as we start to use them anyway. Some plasticizer for my mix. Also I get 2 buckets for my mix, and also I can get my consistency right. And I got these brick tongs as well. Now what happens with them is you put them on top of the breeze block. Let me show you this. You put them on top of the breeze block, or like however many bricks, you know, and then when you pull it up, what happens then is them jaws clamp on the block. But what I didn't realise was, I mean, they're 300 blocks, but even at 350 blocks, they're not going to fit. So what I'm thinking is, do I now modify them, which then they won't work again for blocks, but otherwise I'm going to have to handball. I'm going to have to handball all these blocks down the garden. Don't know. The reason why we're not doing any work as such today, laying any blocks, is I've got to go get my hair cut, which may sound like not a need, but I've only got my second date tonight, so I'll let you know how that goes on tomorrow. And I've got to pick Yasmin up from school because she's got private tutoring tonight because her English and maths isn't up to grade. The best thing to do when you're doing something like this is not be counting them, not see how many journeys you've got, just get your head down and carry on, because it doesn't matter how many they are, they've still got to be moved. So there's no point in counting them going, oh, I've got 48 journeys left. Right, so you can see there I've probably got maybe 2 inches of water in that pump out, no problem at all, but obviously I've got all this muck and crap here that I need to get rid of, and I need to clean it properly because obviously I want my mortar bed to key to the mortar as well down there. So what I think I'll do is, you see where that step is there, so I'll have sort of like 2 course there and 1 course there. What I think what I'll do is I'll run in this back line first, which will get rid of the majority of all them blocks there, which means I can bring them blocks over there down here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clear it out, pump it out, and hope it don't rain overnight. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go down to Wicks and get myself a stiff brush and clear this concrete of all the mud that's on it, because I'm finding now that I'm just going to have nowhere to work at all if I just put blocks everywhere. So I think what I'll have to do is lay the back wall, get the first, sort of like it'll be course and a half work, so I've got that step in it. But let's have a look. 24 quid for a sweeping brush, what the fuck? That expensive, sounds expensive. So like I said, what we're going to do, we're going to clean this this concrete pad off, possibly going to jet wash it as well, just get all mud off. Hopefully this £24 sweeping brush lasts the job. It's got an awful flex in the wood. For those of you that were watching last time, this point here is my highest point, so I've sort of dated everything off that, referenced it all off that. So hopefully when I have a 10mm bed off that, my 2 courses over there will match up to this course. But we shall see. We shall see, and I'll let you know whether or not I balls it up. It's not supposed to rain today or tomorrow. So if I get this pumped out, get myself set up, then feasibly we should have a good day tomorrow. Still, I've got a long battle with this clay ahead of me. I'm back full of all yet as well. And to the guy who reminded me about services, I do like I replied to you. I remember, then I forget, and then I remember again, and then I completely forget. So what we'll do now, we'll jet wash that off, and then we'll pump it out and go from there. So yeah, I thought I'd seen the last of the pump, but it's obviously got a role to play for some time yet. The only problem with these pumps is that I think they're designed for a lot deeper sort of situations where the float will be floating quite regularly. It's quite easy for the valve to turn off again. So that's why I've tied a bit of twin and earth around it so that I could tie it up on something so it was constantly on while it drained. So I did find that was an issue. So while we're on with this, while we're waiting for this, the names that are going up the screen now, I'd like to thank them as well for donating to the PayPal, which is helping keep the channel going. And of course your names will go in the time capsule. The time capsule is ordered. I think it's coming back end of this week. Quite a nice little thing as well. And we're going to put everybody's names in there that's donated because they've helped build it. That's the plan. So if you'd like to donate and help the channel keep going, then there's a link in the description for PayPal, and if you can put like a gift on it, because that way the PayPal don't take any money. Oh, is it going? It's trying, it's trying. Oh, are we off? Are we off? We're off. Are we? Come on. You've got this. Think, we're off. Come on, horse. There you go. There you go. Is it going down the drain? Why, what? No, it's not. It's Mr. Drain. It's Mr. Drain. It was a struggle, but it's now in the drain. Right. Let's get in this trench and brush this around. Wellies might have been a better option. Let's go get wellies. I bought myself some new wellies, some buck boots, and I put one on the other night. And it's stuck on, I couldn't get off, and a little panic attack. So they're the 300 footing blocks. I might actually use them for something. Don't know yet. It's got quite a lot of water in. It's a bit deeper over here, so it must be a bit lower, but we'll see. Sun's out. See when my rod's sticking up there, look, slightly there, a little bit there. To be fair, they're all sticking up a little bit. Right, let's talk about the back line then. So I realised I was cutting into the fence too much when I was digging, because I sent the drone up, to be fair, and I realised that that wasn't the right angle over there. You can clearly see it isn't. So what I did then, I shifted it across on this step, so you can see there I'm just cutting through. Right, I'm about 15 mil on that concrete there, but I'm not. I know it's, you all supposed to sit in the middle of the footing, yeah, and it is down there because the footing's wider than the 600. There's only that point there where it's not. So I mean, it's out and out, isn't it, really? Because if you think about it, there's 1.5, 1.6 of concrete there, so it's not going nowhere. This I know is my highest point. Yeah, that there is practically the same. So the one which is under the tripod, which I'll show you now. So that one there is, I block the leather? No, that one there is about 30 mil on 2 blocks, which doesn't give me a very thick bed. It's thick enough, I suppose, but not great. So what I might do is I might increase the bed of them original ones over there on the lowest point, so that I've got more of a chance of getting it right here. Because once I get my first course up, then I know I'm right. Let's stop that from beeping. So once I get my first course up, I'll be right. Because I'll obviously laser it around. I have to do a lot of work getting the beds right to get it level. But once I, well, like I say, once I get that right, then I'm good. Then get my staff and just go around and get all my courses right. So that's my only issue there. Is it an issue? Yeah. It's not perfect, but you know, I mean, that pad there is over 1 metre wide because I lost a lot of soil there. So, you know, we've got, when I keep saying pad, that foot in there is over 1 metre wide because we lost a lot of soil there. So I think we're absolutely fine on that. I'm not remotely worried anyway. So what I'm going to do, I've opted not to get a haircut because I thought, do you know what? Let's see how it goes anyway. What else have I decided to do? I know I've got some more blocks coming. I've got to pick Yasmin up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this trench fully drained out, fully wet, cleaned out, because it's not supposed to rain today or tomorrow, so it should be good to go tomorrow. But that's my line. That's where I'm going from. I'm going to get my back line up, so there'll be 2 courses here, 1 course over there just below the tripod, and then I'm going to work my way around and get a full course all the way around. When I say full, I'll have 2 in this lower trench water, but 1 in the other trench. So basically I'm trying to get up to that height once it's level. But that'll be a job for tomorrow after tonight's date. See how that one goes. Right, I did say I was going to show you everything, so everything I shall show you. If it's boring, let me know and I'll try and change the format a little bit. Right, cement mixer. It's a Bell cement mixer. Electric one, 240. That's your stand, pop that in there. Lose your split bin. There it is. Right, this is going to be up for the duration of the summer now, isn't it? Definitely. Pop that in there. Right, if you didn't know, you can't move these around. If you bang it tight that way, the drum will unwind, yeah, and come off, which makes life a lot easier when you're moving it. There we go. Right, so that's on. Now, the easiest way, my trench is filled up with water, not filled up, but that pump's been back in action today. So the easiest way to get this on the stand nose it down like that, pop that in there, and then up and over. And that's about as easy as you can do that. We're going to use a 4-to-1 mix, which is 4 parts building sand, 1 part cement, obviously. What I'm going to do as well is I'll try and show you everything. Right, so basically I'm gonna mix it so it's very consistent all the way throughout the job. So be 4 full buckets of sand to 1 bucket of cement, and I'm thinking I'll get that in the mixer, no problem. John normally mixes, to be fair, so we'll see how we go on. We're going to add Feb mix as well, which is a plasticizer. It improves workability of the mortar. Now, it does say on the bottle 5 to 10 mil per 50 kilos, but we're going to put, because we're only going to get like not even a full bag of cement in, which is 25 kilos, might even be 20 kilos. I'll have a look in a minute. So we're going to just put 5 in and then mix that with water straight away. Get a bit of water in there. Turn water on. I'm not going to put too much water in at first because the sand's been open, the top of the bag, and it's been raining, so I'm assuming it'll be pretty wet. Anyway, there's a lot of water contained in the sand. So like I said, we're going to put 4 parts sand in to 1 part cement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw 2 in. I'm going to go fill a cement, get that in, and then get my other 2 in, and we'll have a look at the mix then. This is the part I hate. Mixing and getting filthy and that. Throw a bit more water in there. I mean, it's super concentrated, is that Feb mix, so we'll see how we go on with first mix. And like I said, I've opted for the cement in the plastic bags because this build is going to take some time, so paper bags would have ended up getting moisture in them and the cement would have ended up going off. What I'll probably do as the job moves on is just fire it in rather than mixing it, you know, just get it by shovels. But I just want to show you how to get a consistent 4-to-1 mix first. What's that then? That's 25 kilos, so we'll be looking at 5 mil maximum on that. This is where I'm going to get absolutely blathered in it. It's far easier to do it with a shovel. And throw a bit more water in there. Now, I've watched lots of videos recently on YouTube and TikTok how to get the perfect mix, and I didn't actually realise you can overmix it, this guy reckons. Whether or not that's right, I've no idea, but it's what he said. Like I say, John normally does this and he gets a really good mix. I'm going to put these on because I don't want to get it in my eyes. No, we're still too sand down, aren't we? This barrel of sand is, give or take, 4 buckets. So I won't have to measure that out now. What I'll do is I'll just fill the barrel every time and make sure the full barrel goes in. Certainly near enough is that. So this is now where I'm entering into getting the most abuse off people, because obviously I'm not a bricklayer. So this is, I'd imagine, where it's going to start. But we shall see. I'm thinking I could probably have done with more water in there to start off with, because it's still quite stuck at the back. Maybe fire a lot more water in next time. Right, so as I said yesterday, I'm going to have to put a decent bed on the first row. So what I'm thinking is, that's stiffer than what I'd want for bricklaying, but it's probably good enough for what I want to do today, because I want to get my blocks obviously bang on, and the other ones I need to lift up a little bit, so I've got enough bed under the double row side, if you remember what I said yesterday. But I'll explain it as I go along. So that's nice and mixed now, we're going to go for that. Right, so I'm going to put my first block down. I'm going to leave that one there, because I know that that's going to be fine. I'll pop that one after, but I want my string line to stay where it is. Now, I assumed you'd have to have a full bed, but from what I've watched, they're just putting like a double bed down on the footing blocks. Like I said, I assumed it'd be a full bed, but no. So we'll get that down there. That should give me enough now to rise up enough over there to get me 2 blocks level with this one, if that makes sense. So I'll just offer that in there like that. And then tap it down and get it some kind of level. That's good that way. And it's good that way. Right, so I'm going to go with that, and then what I'm going to do is go over there and lay 2 and make sure I can get my level, so my second level is up to there before I start laying a full row in case I've ballsed it up. Right, so what I've done, I've got my staff over there, my laser, sorry, and I set my staff to the height of that block over there. So this block wants to come up about 40 mil. I mean, I have a pretty thin bed on both, but I should be able to get it then. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bed one on there, take that off, bed that on temporarily on top of that one, and get the levels right so that I can run that first line through. And until we get away from this corner with this dog, I'll have to put up with this barking because it's a pain in the fucking ass, I won't lie. It doesn't shut up. I'm going to eye that one through, get it down quite a lot. I know that I need to get a decent thin bed on that one, to be fair. It's alright that way. It's not that way. Oh, it is. Right, so let's put one on there. I want to keep my line, so what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? Let's sit one on temporarily. Just get it so it's right. And that can come off then in a bit. Even put it so it's on the line, which it is. Right, let's see how high we are. Right, so that bottom one could have come up a little bit more. Now, what do? We take this one off. Yeah. Get rid of that mortar. We'll bed that other one on a bit more. Let's get you up and out. Measuring it would have probably been a better option. I'm just going to guess it. Get you right. It's right that way. Right that way. Suppose if we get this now and we see how much this block wants to come up, because of course we know the blocks were measured 140. My head didn't work, bloody thing, didn't it? Let's sit down on that. Not very. 2 men would have been better, wouldn't it? Let's try it that way. Right, that's only showing a 9mm bed, so that won't be no good, so we'll send that down more. Get it level as we can. Okay, have a remeasure of that now. That's showing a 15mm bed, which is nice. That does look tilted, but let's have a look at that. No, it's alright, level. Maybe a bit that way. Right, so again, temporarily going to put one on top of this, just so that we can get this line through. Right, we'll level both ways there. It's so close, I can just see the line coming up. Right, so we know now that second block is now the same height as that first block over there. Yeah. And we're level. So what we can do now is get this string line on there. So when that string line's on that corner of that block like that, it's on that corner of that block like that, then that is the level line to run through all the way through. Obviously this is 2 courses, but I'm going to go run that first course in first, and then we'll drop the line down to get it onto the first course on this side, so that we should have a level line running all the way through. That's the plan. I'm just going to sit another block on top of that, just to stop it from pulling. going to do exactly the same on this one now and get that string line to sit on there. Right, we know that both them blocks are level with each other. Now what we need to do now is just get these through and follow that line. Make sure we're going level that way. Might have to address my perps a little bit there. Not my perps, my joints, whatever they're called, I don't know. Probably mortar's a bit, maybe too dry, but I needed that to get that bed, didn't I? And to make sure nothing that's catching the line at any point. I've just been thinking that this is going to be a really slow process, but what I'll do is I'll show you the sort of the starts and the finishes, and then maybe just plod on then. And what you have to remember is that these, you know, they're underground, never going to be seen. As long as they're solid and level, we're all good, aren't we? So I guess the two lines underneath is what confused me was, obviously when you pat them down, they spread, don't they? You're actually getting very much a full bed underneath. Right, I've run that line in. Now I've got to have two course here, obviously, to get me back up to that one. So what I've done, I've put my laser on the first course over there, and got the staff set up for that. So what I'll do now is I'll put a course down here. Why ain't that good enough? What I'll do is put a course here. Yeah, and then the next course will go on top of that. But what I need to do is determine what size bed I'm going to put under there. So let's just stick this tape on here. A bit of a ball ache doing this on your own. I'm looking about a 20mm bed, which is lovely really, isn't it? So let's get first one on there then. Oh, if I didn't lose any weight before, I certainly will now on this part of it. Because backwards and forwards, getting blocks and gear. A lot of work in that. I'm going to butt that one tight up to that, simply because, as luck would have it, it's almost halfway on the block is the step where I've put it, so that's worked out lovely as that. So I'm going to get this first one right. I'm going to plumb it through on line. Okay. Right, and then what we're going to do now is see how high up we are, because it looks really high does that at the moment. Get it somewhere near. Let's go down. Right, it's getting there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to level it now. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be tapping it down and then find out that I'm way out of level and have to move it again. Right, that's pretty much bang on, is that? The accuracy on the footing box isn't. There we go. So that's perfect, is that now? Right, what I need to do now is just make sure it's dead in line with my string. It's pushing it over there, but it's nice and plumb. I think I'd be good at this shit, wouldn't you? Leveling and plumbing. Yeah, it's not bad there. Right, so we're going to leave that one there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this next block through, sit it on top of there and level it through. That's the plan there. And then we're going to run the bottom course in. And then this one then should hold that one lovely. And get a string on it then as well. So, how did the date go last night? The date went well. She's lovely. We had a few drinks and we shared a taxi home. And I've arranged to cook for her at some point, not sure when, but that's happening. So it went Get my ass out of camera. It went really well, in my opinion, anyway. And I want, you know, I want blocked this morning, so I guess it went okay. Better than okay, which is lovely. Right, back to this. Just want to make sure that this next one runs through lovely with that one. And then we're going to drop this bottom course in then. Way high is that bugger. What I'm going to do is just check, because I've had to give that a good old belt, that put way too much mortar on there. I'm just going to check. What am I going to check? I'm going to check that bottom one hasn't moved too much out of level. Close that gap up a little bit. It's not quite half a block, but it's not far off there, so we're happy with that. Right, let's just check this bottom one for level again. Perfect. Okay, so what we need to do now is we'll get a string line on that bottom one, string line on the bottom one over there, run this bottom course through, and then get a second course through as well. Right, so we've got that single line through, and then it obviously meets up with double line then as well. So what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to dismantle this corner here, because obviously I need to carry it on through, and that was temporary. We always said that we're going to come off because we were just getting as levels with that. So I'm going to take that off, leave that bottom one on, put another bottom one on, level them through, and then get my blocks all the way through, just with the level then. I might actually put the laser on it afterwards, and let's see how close we are with it. It wasn't supposed to rain yesterday, and it wasn't supposed to rain today, and there's the biggest black cloud right over the top of me. It's nothing to do with mood. Right, so have we got enough gear in there? Probably. Not ideal on top of all, well, it's not a lot of water. Stop moaning about it, don't I? Right, let's get this bad boy in there. Oh, we've not done joint yet. So looking down the line, I'm quite happy with it. How level it is, who knows? I'll throw it laser on in a minute. Right, pop that one in there, like so. I think what I'll do, I'll address this low point, this low trench, because it's filling up with water every day, and that's just a pain in the ass. So if I can get a couple of courses up, then it's not a problem to me anymore, is it? Just let it do whatever it wants to do. I actually mind using the mallet because you don't break the block, that's for sure. Anyway, this is the test, I guess. As long as I'm in lines, I'm happy. It's going to be hard to build this, I think. About 3 mil maybe. A little bit, couple of mil. When it's beating fast, it means it's close. That's bang on. Let's turn that so you can see it. Two mil maybe. Mil, 2 mil. That's pretty good, I'm happy with that, man. And that one's there. A mil, if that. Right, I am more than happy with that. Let's just redo that so you can see it. It's 2 mil. Bang on. Bang on. A little bit, oh, bang on. It's that close. It's just by doing that I can make it go in and out, you know. Maybe 1 mil, 2 mil. So we are happy with that, yeah. I'm happy with that anyway. It's nice and straight. It's level. I've got over my fall in my concrete footing, no problem. I think the next step now is shoot down that line there and try and get out of this this double height one. Right, so that's today. 2 courses straight down there. Encountered a little bit of a problem. Obviously my back there, it wasn't straight, so it's dog-legged, so that's like a funny angle over there. I've made the building a little bit smaller to try and square it back. Not really a problem, I suppose. You know what I mean? It's only going to cause me an issue when I come to do the roof, I guess. So I've got 1 course all the way along there, across the back, drops it down to 2. 2 all the way up there, 2 across there, and then 2 back there, where I'm returning now just to 1 course all the way around. And you can also see there as well, I wasn't able to square that up enough. So what I've done, I've made it slightly smaller just so I can stay within the centre of that pad. Again, I guess it's just poor planning really. But there is a way I can get it back though. So I'm thinking what I might do is do away with the 150 cavity, drop back to the 100 cavity and use the PIR insulation, and obviously I'll be able to gain some distance then, because when I put my breeze blocks on my 300 I'll have 50 mil play, so I should be able to square it back off that, which I might do yet, or I might just sack it off and not fucking bother, I don't know, we'll see. So tomorrow now I'm going to get all that course around there. So that course is the hardest basically for me because my concrete's not level, because obviously my trench collapsed and my timbers fell over and all that bloody carry on. But it's going right. I'm happy. It's level, it's flat, it's straight. It's not quite square, but you know, you can't have it all, can you? So that's it. Let's have a look at tools, what we used today. Right, tool talk. So I've used this Spectra laser. We used to use this when we do garden rooms. It's a good laser. It's not overly expensive. You're going to definitely want to hire something like that, because you need to get your levels right, and obviously it comes with laser finder as well, which is important that you need that as well. I've used this level, what's that? It's a 1200 level, a Stabila one, and a 600 Stabila level. I've used this Marshalltown 11-inch trowel. The reason why I went for the 11 inches, I have no idea. There's a 10 and 11 and a 12 at Tool Station, so I went for the middle one. But it's done alright, I like it, it's nice. It was about 44 quid, I think it was. Seems quite expensive for what it is, but you know, it's going to do a lot of work, isn't it? Dustpan, get the water out of the trench. Rubber mallet, which I actually like. Maybe it's not as good as the as a lump hammer, but it did the job. Bricky pins, pair of them, and these rubber block things that hold onto the side. Not quite suss them out, but I'm making them work for me anyway, that's for sure. The steel saw, TS410, it's a beast, and it never lets me down that, but I did actually buy that brand new once upon a time. And the blower, get water out of the trench, because we had to get all the water out of the trench, didn't we? That's about it so far. And these gloves, these were brand new on this morning. They're ripped. So I'm going to have to invest in something better for bricklaying. I don't know. I just watch these bricklayers on TikTok and they're bare-handed, and I just can't understand why the hell you'd want to lay bricks with your bare hands. It's horrible, dry, dusty. I mean, look at State Me. It's a shit job, to be fair. Right, so I'm going to go edit this now. This might be enough for an episode, I don't know. And if it is, please like and subscribe. Don't forget all your links are at the end. You know, PayPal, which helps the channel keep going, that's brilliant. I appreciate them people that donated as well. They're going to go in the time capsule, of course. The raffles, Facebook, if you want a build pack as well to build a garden room, timber frame garden room, I'm going to offer a build pack for this as well with my plans. So that'll be something coming. And merchandise, if you want maybe the jumpers or t-shirts, let me know. All right, so hit the subscribe button down there. I'm absolutely knackered. I'm drained. It's been such a long hard day grafting on your own, loading up, mixing, laying, and repeat, and then got to do it all again tomorrow. I reckon I won't have it broke tomorrow, but I don't think I will be far off on Friday, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, so that's it. See you next time. Bye.
you.